So, Will Duffy, I'm going to give you a video response because I don't know why I'm wasting my time with you, but you know, in the end, I'll probably shut you up faster than anybody else.
You f***ing prats.
So lads, you know how we've all spent years trying to convince our wives that this is 12 inches? No? Just me again? Okay, anyway, the flat earther in today's video doesn't seem to realise that the moon is really, really big. So it isn't just me, all men struggle with size. So let's have a look. Why have I never thought about leaning before? Please subscribe.
If you take your camera or your telescope.
Hang on a second, why would you need a camera or a telescope to view the 24-hour sun? The sun is massive and really bright, which is handy.
And I would ask you, and I've done this to plenty of guys and I've thrown scientist stumps with this. People claim to be scientists, okay? I can't verify it, but I made them go, huh?
And you think that's some sort of achievement? Scientists probably do that every time they hear a flat earther speak.
And ultimately, if you take your camera or your telescope, and I tell you, can you see the craters of the moon?
Now, even though this feels like a trap, I'm gonna say yes. Yes, you can see the craters on the moon through a camera or a telescope.
And a lot of people will go, yes, I can see craters on the moon with my camera. That's how good my camera is.
Yeah, but you can also see the craters on the moon with your eyes, without a camera or a telescope. And we'll get to why that is a little bit further into the video.
I says, then how far, take that same camera, and how far can you see on land?
Ah, right. I think I can see where this is going now.
Some people say 10 miles, some people say 100 miles.
Hang on a second. So are you surprised that you can see the moon, or more specifically the craters on the moon, through the lens of what I can only assume is a P900, and you can't see as far on the surface of Earth? I'm still not sure what any of this has got to do with the final experiment, but go on.
Depending on the telescope, whether it's their work telescope that they've used or whatever. First of all, if you've seen 100 miles with your telescope, you're looking into space on your globe, so it's a joke. You know, everything that you guys put down, by the way, is a complete joke.
Oh, is it? And you think that trying to prove the Earth is flat is a serious topic?
And I think you're a joke. I think you're basically a troll.
And I'm sure Will be absolutely devastated to hear that. And isn't it funny that since Will revealed his identity on the Final Experiment channel, all flat earthers have been trying to do is discredit him and the experiment, rather than trying to prove to us why there will not be a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Now, surely the right thing to do and the honest thing to do would be to just wait and see.
The point is that...
Oh, so there is a point, because to be honest, I was beginning to wonder, because so far, even though your video is apparently gonna debunk the final experiment before it's even happened, you have not said anything that has any relevance.
You know, and I say that lovingly because, you know, you're either lost or you're being paid to do what you do, so...
Or, and this is just me thinking out loud, Will isn't gullible enough to actually think that the Earth is flat.
So if you take that same camera, that you can see the craters of the moon, and you know what? You could probably not see the craters of the moon, zoom in, and see the craters in the moon, right?
I'm not really sure, to be honest, because I can't say that I fully understood what you just said. It sounded like you said you can see the craters of the moon, but you can't see the craters of the moon until you zoom in and see the craters of the moon. Did you watch your video back before you uploaded it to Facebook?
Almost every single person will have to admit that.
Admit what? That you can and can't see the craters of the moon until you zoom in through the lens of a camera?
And if you don't admit that, you're a troll.
Why? Because we disagree on the shape of the Earth. And you do realize that we're not traveling to Antarctica to witness a 24-hour moon. It's a 24-hour sun that's going to destroy flat Earth. The moon has nothing at all to do with anything in this case.
So you could see the craters of the moon where you previously couldn't see the craters of the moon, or you could see them like 10 times clearer. The moon is how far?
238,855 miles.
In your model, it's 238,000 miles away.
Well, no, it's not in our model, it's in reality. We've measured it, and we've been there, and you seem like the type who'll enjoy this little bit of information. Apollo 11 was followed by 6 further trips to the moon, 5 of which landed successfully. 12 men have walked on the moon's surface.
Do you understand what that is to see that with a regular phone or a regular telescope? There's no such thing as any telescope that can actually see the moon if it was 238,000 miles away, but that's besides the point.
But you can see the moon with the naked eye. Even I can see it without my glasses on. It's absolutely enormous. Now, the most powerful telescope on Earth, like the Extremely Large Telescope, or ELT, which is currently under construction. Who the hell picked that name? The Extremely Large Telescope? But anyway, it can see some truly mind-blowing distances. It can observe objects up to 13.4 billion light years away. Or this, 782792 followed by 18 zeros miles away. That's almost to the edge of the observable universe, peering back in time to just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang.
The point is that your telescope, your phone, can see the moon, and then it can see it so much clearer that you can see the craters on the moon with detail.
We know! I thought you said right at the beginning of this video that you were going to be able to shut Will Duffy up once and for all. You're not doing a very good job, are you? All you've talked about is the moon, which has nothing to do with the final experiment.
Okay? This can be proven almost anywhere online. You can find the videos of it. Take that same camera and try to zoom on Earth. How far can you see?
No. No! Stop comparing apples to oranges. What? Right, when you're observing the moon from the Earth's surface, there is nothing in between you and the moon. Nothing to obscure your view. Plus, the moon is ginormous. The moon's circumference is 6,786 miles, so unless the object you're trying to view on Earth is the same size, it's not a fair comparison to make, is it?
Tell me. Because the same camera that people can say that can see 100 miles, okay, besides the point that it blows away your whole proof that it's
See, this is what happens when you try to just make up facts. Yeah, we can see right through you, pal.
a lot of people who claim that the globe is a sphere, where you would start not seeing things after 3 miles, okay, if you actually did your research.
Well, if you had done your research, you'd know how completely insane your video is. All you've done is talk about whether or not you can or cannot see the craters on the moon with a camera, without the camera, with a telescope, even with the naked eye. And you seem to have completely forgotten that the moon has nothing to do with anything. The final experiment is for us to take flat earthers and show them that the sun does indeed stay in the sky for 24 hours a day.
And this is simple. You don't need like
actual scientific data, accurate measurements. Yeah, we can see that.
You don't need like endless math to figure out where you are.
Yeah, that's actually very true. All you need is your phone, and more specifically the GPS function on your phone, which your phone just wouldn't work without. Surely flat earthers can see the irony in the fact that a lot of them use their phones to record and probably use Google Maps or Waze to navigate places, all of which relies on the earth being spherical in shape.
Okay, and to definitely not figure out where we are. So you take your same camera that you were able to zoom in 10 times the amount on the moon, and you can see maybe 10 miles on land. So maybe 20 miles, 25 miles on land.
Look, let me explain this to you in simple terms, because it's clear to me that you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about when it comes to the final experiment. And the only proof of that we need is the fact that you've been bumping your gums about the moon for the entirety of your video. And I'll say it very slowly so that you may have a chance of understanding it. Flat earthers have said for years that a 24-hour sun in Antarctica is completely impossible on a flat Earth, and they have used that as one of their proofs that the Earth is not a globe. Now, we all know it is, and Will Duffy came up with the idea to combat that claim from flat earthers, because it is one of your claims whether you choose to admit it or not. And Will decided, I'll pay for a flat earther and a globe earther to go to Antarctica together so they both can participate in the experiment to keep things fair, and I will show them that the sun stays in the sky for 24 hours a day. Now, I don't know why you're finding it so difficult to understand this, because it really is that simple. That is all the final experiment is. You lot say the sun doesn't stay in the sky for 24 hours. We say it does, and Will has decided to take you and show you that it does.
Okay, and let's just say it is a globe. Okay, just say it is a globe. And let's say you're only focusing on the tops of the parts. I don't care. It's irrelevant, really. The point is that if you can see the moon clearer than you can see 15 miles away, when the moon is 238,000 miles away, don't you think your model has a problem? And don't you think they're lying about the moon? And if they're lying about the moon, aren't they lying about where you're standing? Think about it.
I mean, I'll try to think about it, but you made absolutely zero sense in any of your video. And I'll give you something to think about as well, if I may be so bold. Mentioning Will Duffy's name right at the beginning of your video does not mean that you debunked the final experiment. You didn't even mention the final experiment or anything that the final experiment is about. Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you, bye.